free throw shooting percentage. Bowl with the block in 30 years.
On July 22nd, during Bol Bol's debut, he had great success with 16 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 blocks in his first match. Bol started off his first season with some rough edges, but with his height of 7'3", he made blocks, he made threes, and his ball handling skills are reminiscent of Kevin Durant and Kristaps Porzingis. Today, I'll be talking about the life of Bol Bol. Did you know that he's the son of Manute Bol, the tallest player in NBA history with a height of 7'7"? Once people learn about the tragedies that Manute and Bol had to overcome, I think more and more basketball fans will show Bol his much-deserved love and support. What's up guys? After 4 long months have passed, the NBA has finally started again. Yeah! Bamba and I were actually watching the Lakers vs Clippers game earlier today. And for those of you who don't know, I'm actually a Lakers fan. And Bamba here, he's just a jealous LeBron hater, so he was cheering for the Clippers. The game was actually super close towards the end. But then, Alex Caruso, the bald eagle, made a game-changing block and save.
It's Leonard. Shot clock at 5. Shamet trying to feed in the corner, knocked away by Caruso. Great defense by Caruso.
How great has he been?
Down to 4. Here's George. He's way outside. A lunging 3. No. Rebound Caruso. That's it. Lakers have won.
In your face, Bamba. Anyways, in honor of Bol Bol's jersey number 10, let's see if we can get 1,000 likes. We can do it, guys. And with that, let's get started. 3, 2, 1. Bol Bol's father, Manute Bol, was a player originally from Turale Tweak in South Sudan. Manute was the son of the chief of the Dinka tribe, who are said to be the tallest people in the world. Even his grandfather was 7 foot 10 inches tall. One day, Manute was taken to a basketball court and dunked for the first time, but in his attempt, he hit the rim and lost 2 teeth. As if it was a symbol of his destiny, Manute began playing basketball from that moment forward. After this, Manute started playing basketball for Cleveland State, but what was a common story for many African players, such as Serge Ibaka, his birth date had no records. His age was unknown, even to himself. His coach decided his birthday, turning him officially into a 19-year-old so that he could play under the rules of college basketball. But looking back, it was said that Manute was actually probably in his 30s. Manute was drafted by the modern-day Washington Wizards, known as the Bullets at the time, and became the first African player in NBA history. In his debut match, his opponents were basketball legends Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar of the Los Angeles Lakers. Manute was unable to sleep from his excitement of playing his first NBA match, but he played well, even blocking Kareem's shots. However, although Manute was a solid 7'7" player, he lacked offensive skill. But when it came to defense, he had a terrifying presence, averaging 5 blocks in his rookie season, the second highest record in NBA history. And while he was a great player on the court, he was an even greater person off it, as Manute's real legacy was in his post-retirement activities. Manute Bol, who was active in charities to support his poor native country, established aid groups for Sudanese refugees after his retirement. Most of the money that he earned during his 10-year NBA career was put into these groups. He was Sudan's hero who gave up everything for the people of his country, calling for donations of refugee assistance. In 1999, Bol Bol was born as the first son of such a selfless father. In 2001, the Sudanese government offered Manute the post of Minister of Sports, but because of his refusal of its requirements to convert to Islam, Manute was categorized as a supporter of the Christian Sudanese People's Liberation Army and was denied issuance of a visa for overseas travel. As a result, Manute, 2-year-old Bol Bol, and the rest of his family were forced to leave for Egypt and sought refuge in America. One of Manute's basketball students, another Sudanese refugee, Luol Deng, later joined the NBA and he too became an all-star.
You want to be just like your daddy?
Yes.
Why?
Because I love basketball.
Is he a great daddy?
Yes.
Why?
Because I love him.
I love you too.
Do you too, Dad?
Minute encouraged young Bol Bol to play basketball when he was 4 years old. At first, Bol Bol wasn't very enthusiastic, but when he finally started training at the gym with his father, he fell in love with the sport. In 2010, when Bol Bol was 10 years old, Minute died from illness at the age of 47. Bol Bol returned to Sudan to bury his father, but for Bol, who was exiled to the US at the age of 2, it was the first time for him to see his hometown, where he saw everything that his father did for his native country. Everything that he did as a legendary player, and also everything that he did for his people. Bol grew up following the steps of his respected father. Before he died, Minute told Bol to do his absolute best, which Bol Bol did, continuing to improve as a basketball player to this day. By the time Bol Bol was in 7th grade, he was already 6'5", growing up to become a hot topic player across the US on mixtapes. As a high school student, Bol transferred to Mater Dei in California during his junior season, which prompted him to become a top player. Mater Dei is a prestigious high school in California that has produced multiple NBA players in the past, and Bol, who was attracting attention due to his success, played with Shaquille O'Neal's son, Shareef O'Neal, at the AAU's California Supreme. The two are not only close friends, but also, Shaq coached both Shareef and Bol and treated Bol like his own son.
I had the opportunity to coach Bol Bol with my son. And him and my son are similar. Very talented, but when you jump on them, they go to work. When I tell you Bol Bol was doing stuff I never seen before, I was like, yo, this kid right here has it.
Bol, who played a major role in high school, was approached by the prestigious basketball schools such as Duke and Kentucky, and eventually arrived at the University of Oregon.
He's done it a lot of different ways. Oh, what a move by
Bol demonstrated well-rounded skills, and after the start of the NCAA season, he was predicted to be 5th pick in the same 2019 draft last year as Rui Hachimura. However, after his 9th game in the season, Bol fractured his left leg and was taken out for the rest of the season, causing his draft stock to plummet. Despite his injuries, he was invited to the green room, where only the highest level prospects were invited. Unfortunately, his name was never called up. Even Bamba was at the venue, where the draft started at 7 p.m., but Bol was nominated only 44th place despite his talent. The time was around 12 o'clock midnight. You could see the depressed expression on Bol's face.
Miami Heat select Bol Bol.
You know that your NBA career is ahead of you, even though you had to deal with sitting out due to injury. What do you want to prove when you step on the court?
I just want to prove everyone wrong and just come out and be the best player I can be.
Unfortunately, NBA teams tend to underestimate injured players a little too much. Last year, Michael Porter Jr., who was predicted to be the #1 overall pick before the college season started, dropped to 14th place due to his injuries. So which team got Porter? It was the Denver Nuggets. There were many moments when Porter Jr. showcased his high potential this season. And this time again, which team offered a trade to the Heat that picked Bol? It was again the Denver Nuggets. They were already building a solid team for the next few years without relying on drafts, so they could afford to take some risks. Both Porter Jr. and Bol are high-risk, high-return players. On top of his father's defense and outside abilities that he inherited, Bol possesses guard skills that aren't expected from a 7'3" player. I believe that Bol will continue to grow into a player that the other 29 teams will regret overlooking. I'm trying to go to the NBA like my dad, said Bol Bol. In the near future, Bol will be a player who will bring much to the NBA and to his mother country, Sudan. It's a great time to be a Nuggets fan, don't you think? If Porter Jr. and Bol can both keep from getting injured, including Murray, who's already grown into an elite point guard, Denver will have one of the brightest futures in the NBA, with Jokic as an all-star center. So, how far do you guys think Bol Bol will go as a player? Do you think the Denver Nuggets can win a championship? Let us know in the comments below. Here's today's highlighted comment from our previous videos. Nice pun there, Keroyama. I'll admit it made me smile. Since we have a lot of Japanese viewers, I'll explain briefly. GOAT is a common term in English slang for greatest of all time. Many consider MJ to be the GOAT, but Larry Bird is definitely up there along with him. Thanks for your comment. See you in the next video. Bye bye.